Hi, I am Kedger on two wheels and I have just upgraded my helmet. So what did I do to upgrade my helmet? Well, nothing much. It's the same helmet, I just upgraded it. Now, how is it possible to upgrade a helmet? I will explain. Very simple. I just bought new insides for the helmet. It's not complete. I only have the cheek pads new, and I have bought the crown new. Thing is, the cheek pads were 50 bucks, and now the crown is going to be an extra 50 bucks. So it is money. Now, why do I say I upgraded it, and why did I do this? Well, I have this helmet for what, 2-3 years? Can't quite recall. I don't know, 2 or 3 years. And in the meantime, the cheek pads, they kind of gave way, so they were the helmet became loose, and it fits your face eventually after a couple of days or weeks, or depends on how much you ride, and the pads kind of give way a bit, and then they adapt to your face. Thing is, over time they get looser and looser because they get thinner. It just keeps giving way, and so eventually the helmet just becomes too loose, and mine was already too loose, even for safety. If I crashed, it might just fly off my head because it was getting pretty loose. The test is, you go in front of something and you shake your head like this. Sorry for the noise I just gave you, but you shake your head and then you stop suddenly and see if the helmet shakes after you've stopped your head. The idea is that as soon as you stop your head, the helmet stops, and if it keeps moving even for half a second, it's too loose. Another way is that you open your visor and then you grab the front of the helmet like this, and then you move your head left and right, and you shouldn't be able to move your head other than just a few millimeters. Your skin allows you to move. Okay, if it moves more than just a few millimeters, then it's too loose. And yeah, the helmet failed on both of those tests, so I got new pads, and boy, what a difference. First thing, my head size is generally between two sizes. My head is a 58.5 centimeters wide at its widest, so I generally sit between the M-sized helmet and the L-sized helmet, depending on the brand or even on the model. For example, for AGV helmets, I'm generally an M, but on some models it's an L. On Shoei, M is too tight and L was just perfect. After the pads were broken in, it became, after some time, became too wide, too big. So considering that, generally I tend to go for the L, because the M is sometimes too small, except for some brands. Again, depends on the brand. For example, for Schubert, the M doesn't even enter, and the L feels almost perfect, except that the helmet innards don't fit my head. All Schuberts, except for these last ones, those I don't have that problem. They usually are very tight across the forehead for me. I don't have a Schubert shaped head, but the new ones do. The brand new SR2s, I think it's SR2, those fit perfectly on me. Okay, whatever. So the thing is, on this helmet, it was great, but it was still just slightly too not tight enough. I wanted slightly tighter. Still the same size, and if it couldn't be tighter, no issue. New pad would be great. But I took the chance. Hey, let's see. When I went to buy the pads, and I saw that for the L size, they had two different thicknesses. They had 35 millimeters or 37. 35 are the stock ones, and then you have the 37. And I thought, oh, hang on. So since this was just slightly too wide, or too roomy, okay, let's buy the slightly thicker cheek pads to get a nice snug and tight feel. And so I did that, and boy, what a difference. Not only did I change from those very, very worn out and very thin pads now to some really thick ones. It feels much thicker than stock than at the beginning. It's very easy to feel the difference even from the new one. I'm now waiting for the break-in period, so it isn't quite as tight as it is, because now it's very tight, but it's much more comfortable. So yeah, changing the cheek pads, and now the crown is going to be the next one. it's a huge difference. I actually felt the difference because as soon as I put the new pads on, I tried the helmet on, and what a difference in comfort between the cheek pads and the crown. Suddenly the crown felt something from a very cheap helmet instead of the very plush high-end cheek pads I now have. They were worn out, what can I say? So yeah, I'm gonna change the whole interior of the helmet, and I'll have a helmet for a couple of extra years, and then the helmet's going to be 5 years old, and it's going to be time to start searching for a new one. Because in case you don't know, helmets do have a shelf life. They have to be changed every 5 to 7 years. Depends on the manufacturer. Some manufacturers recommend 3, some 5, some 7 years. And this is because the styrofoam that comprises the lining, which is what is going to absorb a crash, degrades over time. And so after some time it's no longer safe, it's just too brittle. It will just start turning into dust. And in some very old helmets you notice that if you put the helmet on, your head will be filled with little pieces of styrofoam because it's just breaking away constantly. And so that's no longer safe. And so that's why I have to change your helmet kind of regularly. 3, 5 or 7 years. It depends on the helmet, depends on usage, depends on a lot of factors of which I am not privy. So I'll just use this helmet until I feel that the styrofoam is kind of cracking or something like that. Just inspect it every now and then, try to make an educated guess. But in any way, change your helmets every, say, 5 years as a rule of thumb. After 5 years, start looking at new helmets, and then, well, you have some time to try and change it to see what's going to be your next one. So yeah, that's how I upgraded my helmet. Didn't do anything crazy, just changed the pads, and boy, what a difference. And so that's it. Cage her out. Ooh, hang on. Okay, cage her out. Check this out. This guy has an entirely chrome Vespa. That's 100%, that's chrome everywhere. The whole bike is chromed. Awesome. It looks super cool.